Their profits run into the millions, companies change hands for staggering amounts. Welcome to the dot-com boom Mark II, as internet whiz kids fuelled by venture capitalists make themselves impossibly rich. Of course, it's all happened before in the 1990s when blossoming internet startups became a license to print money. But the tempting sums proved built on sand. 5 years after it started, the boom was turned to bust. So is history doomed to repeat itself? Our technology correspondent Benjamin Cohen reports from the thick of the new dot-com boom.
These are the rising stars of the new dot-com boom.
It's disruptive, it's credible, and it's very creative.
It's also very exciting, fun, and we're helping change the world.
Events like this are reminiscent of the energy and the buzz of the late 1990s dot-com bubble. Now they're back, and they're being fueled by the fact that half of British homes are now connected to broadband, and the internet has become an integral part of daily lives.
My computer's crashed.
And it wasn't just the computer. Lastminute.com launched in a blaze of publicity with over 200,000 investors scrambling to buy shares. The company was once worth £750 million, but when the bubble burst, share prices plummeted. Will things be different this time around?
Yeah, what you had in the 90s was basically, it was actually very hard to make money online. Now you've got lower technology costs, easier way of making money, and huge amount of people online, and it's just easier to make a better product online. So actually, you can make profits more easily than you could then.
Last year in Europe alone, there were £170 billion of mergers and acquisitions within the technology sector, a phenomenal growth of £35 billion in just 1 year. Here in London, young entrepreneurs are queuing to make their pitch in a real-life Dragon's Den.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Saul Klein is an entrepreneur turned venture capitalist, just one of the investors here with funds worth hundreds of millions of pounds, ready to write a cheque to anyone with an idea that impresses him enough.
There are always two things you look for. One, a great product, that meets a real need, either for consumers or for customers. So, if you had a pitch for a service that allowed you to call anyone on the internet for free, wherever they are in the world, you'd probably want to hear more about that product, and, that was Skype. The other thing is great people. You can have the best idea in the world, but if the team and the people aren't able to execute on that idea, it's just not going to happen.
And if you're armed with the right business plan, things can move very quickly.
On Monday, we arrived at one of these events where I had a hole in my shoe, but a very good business plan and a product that was working, with a very small revenue line that needed marketing money. The following Monday, we had over £1 million in our bank account from a meeting at one of these events. So 6 working days.
And how typical do you think that is of the industry?
Right now, it's booming. It's booming.
London's Open Coffee Club began 2 months ago. Already it's being copied in 28 other cities, from Cape Town to Seattle.
Well, first off, there is no doubt a sense of some of the same excitement that there was 7-8 years ago, with a lot of young enterprising individuals looking to get their business plans green-lighted by venture capitalists. And that's fine. That's what we want to see in this country, more enterprise. At the same time, though, we must not forget that some of the same principles still apply. The song remains the same. And in that regard, you still need to keep an eye on creating value for your users or for your consumers. Otherwise, we could end up with another pop.
So will boom inevitably be followed by bust?
Scares me half to death. I hear a lot of the same kind of what I would class hype that happened the first time round.
I always fear that something's going to go wrong and the bottom will fall out of it. But right now, make hay while the sun shines. If you want to do something, now's the time to do it.
As the party goes on into the night, there's a celebratory mood in this industry that's inspired by the phenomenal success of Google, now worth £55 billion, a giant that's an inspiration and a potential suitor for everyone else.
Ben Cohen hepping it up in the dot-com boom part 2. Now